welcome today Gesa Miczaika, who drives impact and returns with Auxxo, backing 50 with 50 plus with female-led startups and empowering 350 plus women angels across Europe. This is the number. So welcome here in the show. Thank you for being here with me, Gesa.
Thank you for having me, Anabel.
So I would like to say a few further words about you before I start with the questions. You are one of the founding partners of the venture capital firm Auxxo Female Catalyst Fund. And Auxxo generates alpha and impact by investing in startups with at least one female co-founder across Europe. To date, the fund has invested in over 50 female founders. In 2019, you established the Evangelistas, and a work that has since grown to encompass more than 350 plus. I think you told me last time nearly 400 female
Over
business.
400, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Over 400. And additionally, you are a founding member of EncourageVentures and European Women in VC, as well as the former vice president of the German Startup Association. And I think you are still in it in a role, right?
No, I'm not. After 4 years of very hard work, I stepped down.
It was all voluntary, wasn't it?
Yes, it was voluntary.
Oh,
Yeah, it was in honorary capacity, and we actually reached a lot. So it was during Corona time. So the Corona facility was set up by the government, which was really important for startups to be acknowledged in that one too. And then we did a lot of work also in terms of diversity, pushing for the
wow.
German KfW capital to set up the emerging fund manager facility, and yeah, many other topics as well.
Great. And the German Startup Association is, I would say, the most powerful one to speak to government and reach also things with a very close and short way, right?
I agree. In Germany, definitely. Yeah. So right now, we also have a new president, Verena Pauster, who I'm also very hopeful that she's going to bring a lot of good change for the startup world
Yeah,
and
I
her
hope so.
team.
I hope so. And it's great as also as a sign to have a woman there at the front. And somebody who's a startup owner, also entrepreneur, and a mother, right? Because we have to show that diversity is possible, and female entrepreneurship can be very successful by not letting anything of your private issues go, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, going back to you, I mean, you have an impressive life, and I mean, we know each other also, so I know a little bit more from you. What did you dream of becoming when you were a child, and how did you grow up?
Well, I grew up abroad in South America and Southeast Asia. And what did I want to become? Well, it has two parts to it. So, first part is I didn't see many working women. So the three options that were relevant for me when I was younger was household help. I did see teachers, and I did see charity ladies. So out of those options, I wanted to become a charity lady. But but talking with my parents, and my parents showing me, there's other possibilities as well. What actually became a dream, and I super cute also, because it was a little bit like a dream also for my parents, is that I would become the director of a bank, which, funnily enough, venture capitalist is very similar to that, probably.
And are your parents still alive?
My mother is still alive. My father died.
And when you would ask them about the Gesa as a child and the Gesa today, what would your mother say?
Oh, I think my mother would say that I did change a lot, because I used to. I think the English word is I used to be very pleasing in all directions, basically, and that's how I grew up. So it was all about being liked and showing a face to yourself that is close to perfection. And in my adult life, I was completely able to understand that that's just something that culture and upbringing brought to me. But it's not something that I am. I'm a human, and I have all facets like every other human. And the first really difficult step was accepting that. But the second step is actually embracing it. So now I can also show my completely non-perfect side. I can be aggressive, I can be angry, I can be sad, I can be all of those things, and there's no need to be perfect and pleasing all the time.
Mhm. I think that's a very wise words, and I think especially we as women, we were somehow educated in this way that if we are nice and just fulfilling our place and filling our places, then everything is good. And if we are too loud, then yeah, then others don't like us, and then it's a bad environment we create, right?
Yeah, very similar to what I was, my perception of the world when I was younger. Yes.
Yeah. And was there a defining moment in your childhood or later that shaped your drive or ambition?
I think it was always very ambitious, and I think it was I. There's not a defining moment. It was just, I always knew I wanted to do something, and so it had two aspects to it. Aspect number one is I always knew I would be a mother to two daughters. That was so clear in my mind always, and it actually did happen. So beautifully enough. And on the other hand, I always saw myself as very successful, whatever that means, at least having a good career, being financially independent, being able to go on vacation and spend money on things that would be important to me.
Hmm.
And it was gradual. It was just always somehow there, both sides.
Great. I mean, you're in your life, you faced some challenges, and once said to me that all made you just, yeah, that all made you just feeling better, growing, us being stronger. Do you want to share with us a few of these challenges you faced, and how did you get out of this too?
Very happy to, actually, because my perception of my life is that exactly as you said, so the biggest growth that I encountered came out of challenge. And I think the biggest challenge that I encountered was the first biggest challenge, I must say, was 2019 when I had cancer, cervical cancer. And
Hmm.
it was just an operation, so it wasn't anything big, but the doctors were very explicit about the fact that if I would have figured this out a little later, I could be dead. So that kind of gives you a real wake-up call, and that made me rethink my life so fundamentally, and it started a big journey of learning, of becoming more aware, of being a lot kinder to myself and the world, etc., etc. So that's just one of many examples, but it's a big example to me because my body told me, stop. What you're doing so far is not good for me, and I listened. So I listened, and I'm still continuing to listen. I'm still continuing to learn how to listen, and yeah. So that's one thing that made me grow so much that now.
Hmm.
I would say I've come to a point where I am able to listen to my body before I have cancer.
Yeah, same here. I made also, I think, a similar experience, which made me honored to be there, honored to be honest, to be able to move things, and honored to be able to listen to my body when it's early enough, right?
Mhm.
You said that you always had in your mind that you would have girls. And I think you're a great model, great role model to your daughters. Was this always without challengers, or do you want to share a challenge with us? Because there could be maybe many, and I might remember also a few from our talks. But if you want to
There were
share
so
something.
many challenges, like where to start, where to end. Basically, having children for me was from 0 to 3 the most challenging thing. I You know, we grew up in a world which I think is not the natural way of growing up. So the natural way of growing up is you have your family, your friends around you, and they help you raise a child. But in our world, we kind of and me specifically, I thought it's like it's on me to raise this child, and for the first child, and then these children, the second child, and it was so tough. Like how can also this picture of perfection that I had? How can you be perfect with having kids? You know, you can't. You just, I mean, you can't be perfect without the kids either. But it's even even more difficult to be perfect if you have the kids. So kind of like everything gets shaken up, and you every day you can't really look into the mirror because you haven't, you know, you become very judgy, and you just you're the judge of yourself, and the judginess looks back at you. You know what I mean? So it's like looking into the mirror is just very difficult. That was one big struggle until I finally figured out, okay, I have to, you know, kind of listen to myself first, take time to myself, and heal myself before I can actually be a good human being that that doesn't continue this devil's circle. I don't know if that's a proper English word, but where you kind of like make it worse and worse and worse by the minute. And yeah, and a second struggle is my younger daughter has the Down syndrome. So when she was born, actually I didn't know it when she was born. So 5 weeks later I figured it out. But I remember how that was so challenging because our culture, our society tells us that that's a bad thing.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that you, I mean, everyone, when you tell them, oh, I have a disabled child, what people usually say is, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes. But they
And
don't know that it's a big present.
they don't know exactly. So there's one friend of mine, Danny, if you're listening to this, thank you for that. One friend of mine who reacted opposite to everyone else, who said, "Oh, congratulations, you have a sunshine kid in your life. I'm so
Oh,
happy for you."
wow.
And well, I wasn't
Okay.
happy at the time, but now I know exactly what she meant, and I'm happy and thankful, and but the process getting there, and kind of like peeling off the layers of society telling me that I have to be sad because I have a
Yeah.
disabled child,
Yeah.
has been a struggle. Yes.
I completely agree with you. I remember the situation where you were talking about this from my sister who has a Down syndrome, a child, and I knew a little bit about it by studying psychology. And when she called me and she told me that, first I said, "Are you really sure?" And second, I said, "What a present if this is this for sure, because you will have such a lovely part of your family inside your family, which will show you what life can mean." And that life
Mhm.
is more than just duties. And she
Actually,
was,
my daughter is one of my biggest pictures, and I agree with you 100%. So it will not only show you life, but this child will teach you so much.
yes, and bring so much, yeah, so much sunshine and small little things and things we often forget, right? I mean, do your daughters know that they have just a famous mother who changed so many things for the better, and with Auxxo really truly making a difference in female investing?
It's so strange when you say that. Like my reaction is like I'm not famous, and but the second step is my daughters actually like when I tell them, oh, this afternoon I have to pick you up from school and take you with me to this conference because I'm on a panel. So they're kind of used to me being on a panel or in the news or something. And yes, actually, yes. To answer your question, they know that, and but it has, I mean, it has only been in the past couple of years. So this was also a process that moved gradually, and they were able to adjust very easily. And now, I mean, the week before last, I really had to take my daughter, one of them, the one with the Down syndrome, to a conference, and she didn't want to stay seated in her designated seat. So she came onto the panel with me. and
Oh,
sat there
nice.
1 hour on my lap and kind of really pleasing the crowd.
How old is she?
She's 9.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's great that you are doing this. Um, Going back, I would like to ask you two questions, and I know we are a bit limited today, but what was the first investment or business decision that made you feel, yes, this is what I was meant to do, or also a most emotional yes to a founder pitch?
I think the biggest yes, this is what I meant to do, just came very recently. And I guess it's the fundraising of our second fund. To give you a little perspective. So the first fund was raised pretty easily. So it was 2021. Many people had capital, and our minimum ticket size, because we are a venture capital fund in Germany, is 200,000 euros. And not many people have 200,000 euros. But with us, it was like we had calls. 8 minutes later, people were telling us, "Okay, I'm pitching in 200,000." So this was like proper reality. And we thought the same would happen this time around. But this is around 2.5 years ago, we started fundraising. And it was hell. It was absolute hell. So we were definitely very optimistic, too optimistic. But also we were not equipped yet for actually, properly doing sales, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
And it was a big, struggle. And we did a lot of inner work together in terms of Tina and I regrouping and talking about why are we failing at this, and learning and bringing in other people from our community who would help us with pitch training, with sales, with emotional support, with whatever, all these things. And I remember when Trump got elected, and we were all at the office crying. But at the same time, it was so funny because I was so kind of calm inside, and I've been calm since.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I just noticed was, look, diversity is really going to now struggle, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe that if we had more balance in powerful positions, in politics, in the economy, then it would benefit all of us, also our sons, not only our daughters. And
Absolutely.
and so to me, if we have this big front of people saying, nah, this is not important, and that's what's happening currently, it's like, well, we have to double down on this. And I guess that was the moment that I was so calm. I was like, I'm meant to do this. I'm just really meant to do this.
Great. If somebody who's an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur, is thinking about, is this the right organization for me? What could you say to her?
You mean
When
Auxxo, or do you mean VC in general?
in general, so if
Yeah.
there is a startup entrepreneur, listen to us.
Yeah.
When or what should it be? Kind of that she can ring at your door and say, "Hello, I would
Yeah.
like to get supported by you."
That's a great question. Thank you for that question, because we get a lot of pitches by many, many people, and people always question why we don't invest, or why this doesn't work. And I think venture capital is such a specific game. So
Hmm.
since it's a numbers game also, so we invest very, very early. So the risk is very high that companies don't make it. So typically of 10 companies, 7 are write-offs, then 2 are maybe okay, and 1 is the fund returner, statistically roundabout.
Hmm.
And so one thing that you need to know is that each of these investments that we do need to have the potential to be huge. So the potential question is the first question. Like, if you have a startup where the market size is, let's say, below 5 billion euros, then you're probably not in the right place with
Hmm.
venture capital, because it really needs to become huge, 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 huge for the numbers to work. The second thing is independence. So if you do bring investors on board, you do give up independence. And what do I mean by this? It's not only in doing, not only how can you handle, you have people who are in your board who can make decisions with you, who can also probably elect you away from the board, from the company, even though you're the founder of the company. But this is the contract that you do when you go into venture capital, and then they also have liquidation preferences. So when at the end of the day there's an exit, then the most recent money that comes in gets paid back first, and then it trickles down the line. And the founders are not the first ones, in most cases, not the first ones that get capital back. And all of these things, and there's many other examples too, but all of these things together is, yes, you do get capital and you can scale fast, but you do have a lot of responsibility and you give up a lot of freedom when you go this path. So that's what you have to know. And specifically with Auxxo, so what you have to know with us, so we are never a lead investor because we want to bridge the gap between the very male-dominated venture capital world and the female co-founded startups. So we take 3 to 8% ownership. You can come to us very, very early. And we are the ones that typically take a very different role to the lead investor. So we don't take board seats. We are usually the ones that do a lot of emotional support and a lot of sparring back and forth of things that maybe the founders don't want to talk with their board about.
Super. Thank you so much. We come to an end, and for that, I would like to ask you 2 questions. So, which are a bit more private. What drives you every morning, even on the hard days, even if you know some challenges are waiting for you?
I'm always thankful. I always wake up and know like what I'm doing it to the best of my abilities, and I'm doing it because I have a passion for it. So like the purpose being there around me the whole time makes even a like really bad day be good.
Wow. And do you have a personal ritual or habit that keeps you grounded in this fast-paced world over the day?
Many. I meditate. I do sports. I also several things. So I would say to kind of what is it in total? I would say awareness practices. I think that's the overarching name that I would give to it. Just give the pauses, the room, the moments when you're not doing anything, in terms of you're not expecting anything to happen, you're not giving an opinion on anything, you're just there, here.
Thank you so much, Gesa, for this engaging discussion and for the inspiring insights. And I look forward to our ongoing exchange. Hope we see each other soon, also for anything, lunch, coffee, or whatever. And I hope that we can make as much impact as possible in the roles we have and do something there together. Thank you so much for being here.
I hope so too, Anabel, and you do make a big impact. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time. I wish you a wonderful weekend.
Likewise. Bye. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.